Welcome to DIY Court Wins, where we break down the legal process into simple, step-by-step strategies you can use to represent yourself with confidence. No legal jargon, no confusion. Subscribe now and start taking control of your own case today. Visit DIYCourtWin.com. Get more info.
Ever watched a crime show and thought you knew the law? Well, you might be surprised. Today, we're busting the top 10 legal myths that TV and movies get wrong all the time. Let's dive in. Myth number 1. You have to read someone their Miranda rights when you arrest them. Not quite. Police only need to read you your rights if you're in custody and they plan to question you. If they don't interrogate you, those famous lines might never be spoken. And get this, statements you make before your rights are read can sometimes still be used in court if you were unofficially in custody. Next up, myth number 2. Everything said in court is under oath. False. Think about the lawyers giving their opening and closing statements. They're making arguments, not giving testimony. Only witnesses on the stand are under oath, and that's when lying can get you in serious trouble for perjury. Myth 3. You can't be arrested for something you didn't know was illegal. This one's a classic. But ignorance of the law is no excuse is a very real legal principle. The justice system expects you to know the laws of the land. While there are some rare exceptions for specific intent crimes, you generally can't claim you just didn't know to get out of trouble. Now for a really dangerous one. Myth number 4. If you're not guilty, you don't need a lawyer. This could not be more wrong. Even if you're completely innocent, the legal system is a maze. A good lawyer is your guide. They protect your rights, handle all the complex procedures, and make sure you don't accidentally say or do something that makes you look guilty. An innocent person with a lawyer has a much better chance than one without. Myth 5. Verbal agreements aren't legally binding. You've probably heard get it in writing, and that's good advice. But verbal contracts can absolutely be enforced. If there's mutual agreement and something of value is exchanged, you might have a binding contract. The hard part is proving what you both agreed to. And remember, some contracts, like those for buying a house, absolutely must be in writing. Halfway there. Myth 6. Police need a warrant to search your phone. Thanks to a major Supreme Court case, police generally do need a warrant to do a deep dive into your phone's data. But there are big exceptions. If you give them consent, or if they search it right when you're being arrested for officer safety, they might not need one. The digital world is tricky, so be careful. Myth 7. You get one phone call after an arrest. This is pure Hollywood. There's no universal one phone call rule. Your right to contact someone, including a lawyer, depends entirely on the state laws and the policies of the jail you're in. You do have a right to an attorney, but how and when you get to call them varies. Let's talk about myth number 8. If you're acquitted, you can't be tried again for the same crime. This is mostly true because of the principle of double jeopardy. But there are loopholes. If a case was dismissed for a technical reason, or if powerful new evidence appears, you could face new charges. Also, even after a criminal acquittal, you could still be sued in a civil court for the same act. Myth 9. Anything you post online is private if your account is set to private. Be very careful with this one. Private on social media doesn't mean legally protected. Your private posts can be subpoenaed in a lawsuit, accessed with a warrant by law enforcement, or even seen by people you don't expect if a friend shares them. Nothing online is ever 100% private. And finally, myth number 10. You can refuse to testify in court to avoid incriminating yourself. Yes, the Fifth Amendment protects you from self-incrimination, but you can't just stay silent. You have to formally plead the Fifth. A judge can still compel you to testify if they grant you immunity, or if your testimony would unincriminate you in a crime. You can't just refuse to take the stand without a valid legal reason. So there you have it. 10 common legal myths. Busted. The law is way more complex than it looks on screen. Remember, this is just for educational purposes and not legal advice. If you're ever in a real legal situation, always consult with a qualified attorney. Thanks for watching. If you found this interesting, hit that like button, subscribe for more content, and let us know in the comments which myth surprised you the most. See you next time.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and like, then you will never miss our next video and keep you up to date on winning in court. Knowledge is your power. Visit www.diycourtwin.com for more about our products and services.